Welcome everybody. Hey, welcome to the Thursday edition over here at Pilot Ryan Media. How are you? Just got off work. What a long night getting it together last night. I wanted to fly it again last night, but I was like, I better follow up, finish up the edit. Can you guys hear me? Give me a bunch of emojis if you can. Michael Reitza, Rex Ramos, Michael Lucero, Brap, Nate, Lil N Big Mouth, Tony, what's up? Mrs. Boozer, Brenton Veenken, hello, or should I say Tog, V Gates. Awesome. What is going on? Hey, hopefully you saw the V1200 ripping its face off in the video today. That's super fun. Victor RC, what's going on? Wild Bill. Ha. You put RF9 down. How about RF 9.5 right here, guys? We're going to play with that one pretty soon. I think those are shipping to those who are interested around October. I've got all the useful links that I put in today's video is also in this live stream if you guys want to check that out. And my website is the very last link in the description, by the way. So check it out. Oh my goodness. So Airvexed RC, JCB 67, SEO, what is going on? I knew you guys would like this one. I'm so glad for my prop guys. And I tell you what's super awesome is the fact that it takes 4S and 6S. And you know what else I think is fantastic? I really enjoyed that video. It's funny when something gets away so fast, I feel this obligation to really have fun with the intro because I'm not sure how well you're truly going to see it in the video. But I think we did a pretty good job. I'm considering 120, 140 miles an hour. So we flew it on 6S a couple times before you saw. And then the video you saw, I'm cranking it on a 6S 4000 Smart Pack. And then we flew it on 4S 4000. It's still super fast. We even took it off and landed it on grass. And it was nice to pop in with the E-flite 9.5. It just showed up yesterday, so I didn't have a chance to play with it. Kyle Robinson, yeah, it was awesome. Rex Ramos, Jordan Dole, good to see you. Cool. So let me know, you guys got any questions about this thing? Yes, Wild Bill, you can just download it. If you listen to my little ad spot, there are 3 different ways you can do it. DVD-ROM, you can buy the whole package that has the controller, or you can do the download. Again, ton of useful links and details in the descriptions to this live and the video. Oh, goodness sakes. Yeah, Kyle Robinson, it was awesome. 8S. I got to do with these things how they come. You know what I mean? At least first off. RC Captain Mike Keller, what is going on? Thanks for using my links, you guys. Love your channel, Pilot Ryan. Great info. Ronald Witt, appreciate that. Paul Sadler. I mean, most airplanes are going to be for runways. You know what I mean, Paul? So, I mean, on grass, it needs to be really good grass. I mean, I flew it off of grass. And, I mean, like any tail dragger, you might be nosing over. The one nice thing about that one is where the battery sets. You absolutely can play with the CG and keep it a little bit more aft if you want. It's going to help you slow it down on landing and keep from nosing over. It doesn't nose over on asphalt. If it does, you're messing up. Or your flaps are too steep. I actually want to play with a mix on flap to elevator a little bit. I didn't see that it called for one in the book, but I think maybe it'd be okay to experiment with. That's what you guys are going to do. I can't wait to see it when you guys crank these things to 11. Prop combos, battery combos, out of the box, completely tickled with it. Super solid, rigid foam, carbon fiber reinforcements and control surfaces all over the place. Where's Captain Mike, Lucero? It's hilarious to have done this so long and people not know. Oh, that Captain Mike. I got it. There should be only one. I'm sorry. It's so confusing, right? The Griffin from Motion. Yeah, it looks awesome. We'll be doing one over here too. The gopher holes. Yeah, Don. SEO, I'm not really sure. You have to just kind of scope it out for trouble. I didn't have any trouble with mine yet. You know what? The website ought to tell you, Captain Mike Keller. So, Chris, here's the deal. Watch the video. I talk a little bit about the criteria for RealFlight 9 in the commercial. About halfway through my video today that went out on the V1200, but I'll answer you now as well. I even said it in the video. I was like, those of you who have bought RealFlight 9, do not be discouraged because the download to upgrade to 9.5 is a free one. You won't be able to do it, I believe, until October 1st when it's available. You know, Michael Lucero, I'm not sure, but I would urge you to click the product link in the description, and the tech spec and ordering information is all right there. It'll tell you. I might be able to see, though. I do remember I thought I saw some numbers one time through the NACA here. Big honking motor. So this is the E-flite 5065. I'm not seeing the... Yeah, 800 kV. Big honking motor. Aluminum spinner. This thing was so smooth. Let's see. Jordan, was that you? I definitely don't want to miss that question. That's okay, Captain Mike. We'll get used to it because the other Captain Mike doesn't come around. Lucero, what are you talking about? Don't leave. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what, Kyle Robinson? You have to watch it on grass and see what you think about it and make that call for yourself. In my video, we took it off and landed from grass at the end of the video on 4S. On 6S, it's going to get off even easier. I wouldn't say it's the best thing on grass, but if you're just dying to have it, you could always be a modeler, and you got a little bit of room. You could open this up and put on some bigger tires if you wanted to. There's all kinds of modeling tricks you can do. And seriously, the battery compartment, this is very hard to open up. So, lots of magnets. So you've got a big, I'm not going to plug it in. SEO, I'm sorry. Watch the video. I retract them in the video. This is so fun. So the receiver's here. The big ESC even has a fan on it up in here. So the battery, you have to set it between the servos and the receiver. Almost no matter what I was flying, whether it was 4S or 6S, I was normally right here around the trailing edge of the wing with the back of my batteries, kind of no matter what. You know what? I have no idea about the prop combos, guys. I just listen to this when it clicks. So one magnet is opposed and one is positive, it seems like. And once they get in, they are in. So the prop, somebody look it up, tell me what the prop is. It's hard for me to tell. Guys, this was so fun. Really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to take it out some more. You know, Loctite, never around plastic. If you're worried about metal to plastic, I would use some kind of glue, almost like foam tack or the kind of glue that comes with kits sometimes. I have not GPS tested this personally, but I really do trust the companies that sell this stuff to be at least close. So I think it's somewhere between 120 and 140 is totally acceptable to go with. And I don't have time to speed test them. I have to go with, these things are made by the time I get them. I think someone had a great question I was missing that I wanted to answer. All right, Keller. Keith, it's a blast. Absolute blast. Man, what did I miss? There was one I saw I wanted to answer. Jordan, do you know if the Blue Angels F-18 is available on RealFlight 9.5? I hope you're still here, dude. I think it is. So I'll just read. It says over a dozen new aircraft from E-flite, Hobby Zone, Hangar 9, and Synergy are included. So Hobby Zone Aero Scout. These are with Safe. You know, if they have Safe, it's also available in the simulator. Eddie K, what's up? Mike Bird. Awesome, Jordan. So Aero Scout, E-flite Habu, E-flite F-15 64mm, F-16 70mm, A-10. This is great to have all these new ones on here. The V1200, the E-flite Cirrus, the 1.5 Mustang Twin Otter on floats and without, the Ultra Micro Turbo Timber, E-flite Turbo Timber with and without floats, Hangar 9 Pits, Night Timber, Synergy Helicopter. I don't see the F-18 on here, but that doesn't mean there's not an F-18 already on the rest of it. I wish I knew. The regular old gray F-18, it's the same one, it's just a different scheme. Man, I know I saw that, the Baja Ray, RC next Tuesday. What's going on? Hello 6112. What's a good beginner plane? I was thinking the Habu. So for me, the Habu is a great beginner plane if you're just dead set on starting with jets. If you're willing to take your time a little bit, I think there's loads of different choices that might be better for you. It depends on your skill level, kinda. How quick you pick up things, if there's anybody around you that can help you learn how to fly, or if you're completely on your own. I would be looking at the 1.1 Aero Scout and the apprentices, the mini apprentice, the regular apprentice. If you don't want any technology at all, you've got the mini Aero Scout for like $99 ready to fly package. But I would say spend a little bit more money and go for something like the mini apprentice or that 1.1 Aero Scout, something like that. If you're a jet guy, you know you want to do jets, the Habu ready to fly is also, like, we've seen guys with no stick time at all work it out. And I urge you to check out the videos on my channel because that's predominantly what we do here. We do some lives, but I am no like live stream guru. Like, I'm just consistent. So on Thursday when I have a video that is timed with the announcement, I do it to honor my relationship. I think it's the least I can do is share it, show it, and talk about it with the folks. Otherwise, we do a stream, holy smokes, every Saturday night. I've done over 2 years in a row. So check that out, 9 o'clock Eastern time. But today, we're running a stream early before I do some kid stuff. I got some soccer. Thursday night, one of our crew, Hangar 51, he goes live on his YouTube channel. Thursday, so I don't take the night. And cool thing about the ready to fly Habu guys you have the Real Flight Trainer Edition that came with your package. You can upgrade it for like $70 again in October and end up with the RF 9.5 stuff that we're looking at now. Air Marshal, what is happening? We got to figure out, Air Marshal, me and you getting together and giving a real showcase on this Real Flight 9.5. Yeah, Keith, back in the day, huh? It does have the new P51, Crescendo Evolution, and the 70mm f/16. Yeah, and it probably has the f/18. It's just probably, it may not be the Blue Angel one. I'm not sure. How would you keep the propeller on your plane if you can't really tighten it fully? You got to figure out how to tighten it fully. If you need washers or spacers to bring it out so you can get a tight, you got to get a tight. It's got to be tight. Or get one of those nylon locking nuts. But I would think some washers or spacers to make sure that whatever you are putting on can, in fact, tighten. Yeah, BD Tennessee, I really do think it's great, and it's surprisingly so, the Habu. But I do think if somebody could cool their jets, pun completely intended, that especially if they're on their own. Now Joe did great, but he had me setting it up for him, and right there next to him. So it's cool, and I think the simulator time is very, very useful in developing some muscle memory. But really, just like anything that you might attack in your life, knowing what to expect out of it is, I think, hugely important in calming down so you can decipher the language that it's given off in the air. And it seems like no matter what, I'm really enjoying flying these things on safe and showing you guys what that's all about, because I didn't really know either. And I had only really done it on beginner planes. So to be checking out the safe select capabilities is a good idea for me. So you'll see more of that in the future. But it seems to be, no matter what, always further away than I want to be, and more stick input than I want to give it to make it do what I want it to. So I think it's great to have. There were some times where I'm flying, the sun has moved into a spot where we're easily flying through it these days, and it's been really nice actually flying through the sun and flipping safe on, knowing it's going to be level when I can finally see it again. So it's a tool, you know, feel free to use it if you'd like. Yep, fly the sim. Actual thoughts on the MiG-29? They're the same thoughts that I put forth in the video. Are you talking about the big 29 or little 29? I like them both. I really like them both a lot. We had a blast on the big 29 and the little one, and we're going to fly it some more. I've got the new servos in the tail, so definitely want to take it out when I've got a free docket, so to say, because a lot of times there are projects in the queue that take priority. I mean, if you're blessed enough to be getting to work projects early, you would be silly to not deliver on deadlines. Yeah. Mike Keller, it might be. I love the big 29. I mean, I love the hobby. Right? So there's some things, no matter who makes it, it's like in my mind, it's a bit of a benchmark that I want to like get a piece of. Like I want a taste of that. Even if it's not something that's like I'm totally into, I just want to get my hands on it. I want the experience. I want the knowledge. I want to have time to formulate an opinion on it. So that's what's happening. Rolling loops, yep. Yeah, you know what? No experience with the high performance 90 in the Venom, although it's a screamer already on the stock fan. I flew one in Texas. I don't know if they still have the video up at Motion RC or not. That was back when I was still the pilot there. dude, it's killer. It really flies great, the big 29. And the little one's nice too when you don't have the space for the big one. The only thing I wish, I'm getting so spoiled on stabilization now that I just want it in everything. So my MiG-29, I still haven't put anything in it for stabilization, because the only way that I'll do it is if I go with, you know, AS3X receiver, because I don't really want to mess with the space of having to mount a receiver and a gyro. And I won't use the Admiral ones or Lemons. I'm proprietary, stuck on that. If I'm flying my Futaba radio, I'm flying Futaba receivers. If I'm flying Spektrum, I'm flying Spektrum. Can't wait to fly it some more though, the big 29. I'm looking at it right now. One night late on a stream or a Zoom session, like I replaced the elevator servos, so I'm ready to go. Let's see. I have not, Charlie, not that I know of. Now, I know some of these aircraft I'm flying come with an AR-637 in them. I don't know if it's a T or a D or an A or an S, or I don't know which it is. That's the beauty of it. You know, whenever I have the chance to do bind and fly, that's what's up. You know, like I'm totally doing bind and fly. RC Air Marshal is very well versed in the AR series of receivers, Charlie Marchioni. And so I would recommend you definitely checking out him, and turn on your notifications with Air Marshal, because he's all the time diving into this cool technology and helping us all demystify it to a degree. And I absolutely, one day when I set up my own AS3X receivers, that's where I'm going to learn how to do it. Matt T, could we not take the retracts out and treat it like a V900? Would love to see if it's possible to hand launch. I don't know why you couldn't do that. You could just leave them in there and hand launch it though as well. I mean, they can't weigh that much. I mean, you got this big monster 1200 that can potentially run on 6S and is built for the abuse. So, yeah, I think the beauty of safe for me was the takeoffs were just a non-event. Here you have this thing that could have been this torquey nightmare, and we took it off in AS3X and also safe, just to see what was going on. So let me ask this pilot Ryan, why stabilize? Why stabilize what? An aircraft? Because they're smooth and super awesome when you do. And you can, it's who do we feel we need to prove our ability to? Like if I'm flying in the wind, I want to enjoy it. So I like cross control stuff. I'm okay with windy days, but it's a handful. And I would rather, if it's crabbing like crazy and I've got stabilization in, it's just a load off. All I've got to deal with is like the rudder, throttle, and pitch. You don't have to fight the roll too much if you've got stabilization in. Definitely safe is going to lock it in on the level of the roll. Because they're awesome, because they're fun. Because I've flown so much stuff with stabilization that when I fly stuff without it, I'm like, man, this would look so much better if it had some in it. Planes that I love without stabilization, I tell you why I'm really noticing this is because I'm flying a lot of formation with my buddy Bobby K. And when we're flying together, AS3X planes or stuff that we've got stabilization in, it's a lot easier to really lock it down. You know, you kind of hunt around in the pitch a little, it seems like, when you're flying stuff that maybe doesn't have it. So you wouldn't notice it as bad when you're flying by yourself, but when you're trying to make super dope video, then I'd notice the difference. So I think it's great. Charlie Marchioni, I am absolutely not the guy to ask on prop swaps. For real, Eddie K, like, I don't feel like I need to use escapement radios either. Like 2 clicks for, you know, right turns. I'm good. My dad, I remember, wanted me to do control line with him, and this is when there was already radio control. I was like, Dad, no, I don't want anything to do with it. It's cool, it looks cool on the shelf, but there's no way I'm gonna stand somewhere and go in a circle like that when I can do an air show with a remote control. Yeah, Eddie K. Yeah, I like them. I mean, not everything I have has them. But there's some stuff that I really like them in. I like them in my jets that I know I want to fly slow. Stuff that flies really quick, I mean, it's nice, but it's not necessary. But this AS3X stuff is dynamite. I mean, it's tuned so well. And I feel like there was a time where the AS3X was almost evident that it was there. Like, your planes would, I would call it ping and pong, like ping and pong into position, you know? And I don't feel like it's like that anymore. I feel like it's better. It's a cool tool, Mike Keller, and being a video guy who's given tremendous value to a community of RC modelers since 2012, I'd be remiss at this point if I didn't get over myself and check out SAFE. You know, I didn't have the opportunity very often for 5 years to do planes that had it. And so when we did do Horizon products when I was working at MRC, I was content to fly them on AS3X and move on. Seriously, next Tuesday? Why not? Why not? Even before stabilization, all I have ever wanted for people is, and maybe almost selfishly, but just because it's just me, I want folks to do well, have a good time, be successful, and learn how to fly. Whatever way they get there is fine. Because I want them to be successful, because I want them to come back. I don't want them to get discouraged, because I think the better an individual can do in the hobby, the better the hobby does, the more choices us obsessed people can have. I mean, look at what we're getting now. Who would ever thought, first of all, the jets we are able to have without spending $1,000, and even like what I would consider one-offs 5 years ago, 3 years ago, are like commonplace. Like, it's the year of the Rusky. Talk about collusion. There's Russian jets from everywhere right now. Yeah, I have more than enough man cards to spare that if someone wants to pull one from me because I like playing with stabilization and perhaps utilize SAFE, take it. Take it. I think it's tremendous. I think it's tremendous. And it's just another language to learn. And I'm a guy who makes videos. It gives me something else to talk about. And so many of you guys, seriously, are great supporters of the channel. I want to support you. And you come around, you like us. We fly all this new stuff. It's tremendous. I think, why wouldn't you also like our opinion on what we're reading from the safe of whatever particular plane? I think I almost feel like apologizing for taking so long to come around on it. And you're going to see everyone else doing it now too. Guys who never would have done it are going to be showing you that now as well. That's okay. That's okay. That's how it's been for me forever. Philip Bender in the house. Lucero, much respect. You're there. Oh man, you're nice. I love it, Michael. I appreciate that, man. I just am in love with the hobby, and the world is so crazy. It's cool that we have something that can bring us all together and forget about the troubles and we handle our business. You know, most of us that are doing this hobby are just salt of the earth. You know, if I had to like just lump you into a category, I'm just gonna say salt of the earth. I don't care about your politics or anything else like that. Like you've handled your business. If you got enough that you can play with, if you got enough on the side that you can play with this stuff or figure out a way to get your hands on it and participate in this community, then, you know, I just am glad to be in your company. So really cool. Amazing Dreamer, this is a great question. Community, rally around and answer this guy. And somebody share this out, because I don't think I have to leave for soccer anymore. So I'm going to stay on for a while, because I know Kenny will go later. And I'm not going to go forever, but I'm definitely not in a hurry to get anywhere. So rally around this question, guys. Let's answer Amazing Dreamer. I've got an answer, and then you guys go for there. Would you suggest the Maule M7 or Turbo Timber 1.5 as a first stall plane? I'm stuck between the two. Now, you guys all answer that question. Ian Kincaid, appreciate that. Writes I have not flown the Maule, so that's my disclaimer. I think the Maule is a terrific plane. Reports on it are it's fantastic. But as far as I love landing gear, and I love landing gear to not make a lot of noise and bounce around. I think the Turbo Timber's articulated landing gear and the way it's soft on its feet is amazing. Stay tuned to this channel, subscribe and tap the bell, because I got a video in the queue that I cannot wait to show you guys. Me and Bobby had a blast on the E-flite 1.5 Turbo Timber the other day, and I can't wait to show it to you. And just as is typical now, you're going to see us fly an AS3X and Safe, also 4S and 3S. So we really try to show you everything that these things can do. So a lot of guys are going to say go for the Maule, and a lot of guys are going to say Turbo Timber. So it's tough for me because I haven't flown the Maule. I definitely am a big fan of the construction methods on the Maule and where it's made and all that good stuff. But I also really, really, really enjoy the Turbo Timber. So everybody answer up for our fella here, and he's going to be torn. But the one thing he does know for sure is that he's going to go to pilotridermedia.com and click the Horizon Hobby logo to do anything he decides to do. Barry Campbell, what's going on? Boogeyman Brown, Lucero. There was a skater named Lucero a long time ago. It might have been a Michael too. Turbo Timber, hands down. Haven't flown either, but everyone has the Turbo Timber, loves it. Yeah, you know, I picked up on that vibe, Ian, before I had one. And I have, at this point, I have flown all the Timbers except the Timber X, but I've flown the Night Timber X. So, Charlie Marchione says Turbo Timber has better stall performance and a more friendly handling. I like it. I like it. Nicholas Flyboy Miller, that makes a lot of sense too. So for those of you who are like really want the more, I feel like the Timbers kind of look civilian, but yeah, it looks like just a great flying model, where the Maule is like totally scale looking. Philip Bender wants me to fly the Maule. I'd love to. I should see if I can get one. Ian Kincaid's on his third UMX Timber and loves it. Charlie, that's true, man. But, you know, top feeder for the battery is always nice. But I really need to fly them all. I'm on a holdout verdict. I don't think the landing gear on the Maule are articulated like the Turbo Timber is. But honestly, there's just not enough time in the day. I've been dying to get this video out to you guys, but we just have a lot of responsibilities. Eddie K, that's pretty good. He says timbers are the ugly stick of the current day. Everyone needs one. John Graham in the house, what's going on? Guys, I have not been able to have access to my apps for like 2 weeks. Talked to Apple today. I know you guys, it's none of you who cares, but this is my life. So, impossible getting any satisfaction right now from Apple. It looks like October 1st, Barry Campbell, according to the literature that I have received. You don't like, what's wrong with the landing gear, Charlie? Yeah, people love the Mall. I'm sure I'll like it too. I just really love that spongy articulation and soft, quiet tires out of the timbers. Now, you can always shut up a plane by putting softer tires on it, but it is, when you're me, flying them out of the box is kind of the way to go. And unless you just have one that you really want to mess with. I don't want to have to mess with that stuff. So when they come, ready to rock out of the box, I'm like totally cool with it. Does the Mall have hard tires or are they soft? I'm going to have to get one. Anyway, what I was getting at is share this out on my Facebook page, my Facebook group, dudes. Because I can't do it. I can't do it. Air Marshal, were you here when I was talking about trying to work this out with you? The 9.5. Show everybody what's up with it. I'll do a collab with you. You got to produce it. What do you say, Air Marshal? I still need that graphic without the black in it, by the way. This thing is solid. Feels like it's got a battery in it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you'd want more out of these gear, but it's metal trunnion retracts. You got the pigtail. Looks like a big 4, I wouldn't say 5, but probably an easy 4mm strut wire. Does have some nice spring action. You know what? You can always put softer tires on something if you didn't like this. You know, I feel like when I look at a plane like this, it's about the flying. You know what? I love landings. Takeoffs and landings, touch and goes. Of course, I love flying, but landings are like one of my favorite things. But this, when I have something like this, flying it becomes the favorite part about it. It's a rocket ship, and it is heavy. I mean, it really does feel like there's a battery in it now, which is why whatever battery you choose has to be really about there, and it was dialed in. It was definitely easier to slow it down with the lighter batteries in it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. It really took a tremendous amount of time to put that one together. I had a lot of... I had some takes that weren't good. So I'll tell you why. And some of you guys, you'll remember this when you hear the story. So when you have a smart plane, the telemetry, the battery warning, voltage per cell warning is defaults to like 4.1. Well, the battery full charge is 4.2. So if you just burn one rip, you guys aren't even going to see the maiden flight because it was just kind of garbage with the alarm. So anytime I would run a pass or whatever, because I forgot to set the thing down. So you get in your telemetry screen and you set that warning parameter for the battery voltage. It's per cell, I believe. You set it down to whatever the you've got a range there that you can go to. So first flight was garbage because the alarm was always going off. And then, you know, after that, we got into the 4000 and what you guys saw. But I had a lot to go through on that one, and I just couldn't decide what I wanted to do. For a while, I was working it out, trying to fix the audio on the first one, and then I was like, you know what? This is fine. We're going to fly it on 4006S, 4004S. Keep it simple. Spencer is really the one you guys need to thank for the grass takeoff and landings that I put in it too, because I probably wouldn't have done it. I might have, but I really was thinking about it even before I got into the project because I knew he asked. So thank him for the grass ops on the Pilot Ryan video. Oh, Airvexed RC, you nailed it. Exactly. Hamilton's Hangar, Che in the house. What is going on, dude? Did you get you one of these V1200s yet? You guys are going to talk me into a mall, dude. You know, I noticed something on the website at Horizon last night. If there's something that you... By the way, there's a ton of Arma back in stock. There's a ton of Losi back in stock. Axial. There's a lot of stuff back in stock. Airplanes as well. But one thing I absolutely noticed last night was if you are on like one of the pages and let's say it says back order or what's the other one? Do they say? I don't think it ever says out of stock. What is it? New or back order or... Don't necessarily always trust what you see. So I clicked on a thing I wanted last night just to check it out because it looked like it wasn't available. But then when I click it and check out the full spec, it's in stock. It was available, even though at first look on the landing page or whatever, it wasn't. So man, if there's something you like, don't believe the hype, right? It might say back order, it might say pre-order. I think that's what I'm looking for. Click it anyway, because sometimes it might be wrong. So the thing for me last night, it was that way, and it was in stock, and I ordered it. And so it'll probably be here tomorrow. Aussie RC Playground in the house. Oh man, what a fun plane. And Bobby said it right. I mean, that thing is faster than our jets is. There's less there. I mean, it is ripping. John Hill with the blatant honesty. I love it. John made a comment on the video, and no shame in that game. He's like, yeah, man, good video, good times, but like that is, I'm gonna stick with my big, slow, easy to see stuff. You know what? I haven't put any, I have no way of knowing on the 140, but I mean, I believe it. I don't have, I need to get one of those speed things. I need it for my RC cars, and then I can put it on my planes too. Yeah, who all pre-ordered this thing, the V1200? It's not on. Here's the deal, Airvexed RC. So when you have your home screen on the radio and you scroll to the right, you've got all this smart telemetry right there where you can see what's going on. But if you want to change the warning parameter, you have to back out and go into telemetry and do it. Now, I think I showed exactly how to do it on one of my E-flite 1.5 meter Mustang videos, and I'm pretty sure I showed how to do it on like the Night Timber X as well. So I urge you to check out those videos because I show you exactly how to do it. in some of that stuff. I didn't do it on this one, and I hadn't needed to do it on anything else. So it was the Night Timber X, if I remember right, and the E-flite 1.5 Mustang. I did multiple videos on that. So it's probably in either the flight review or the shakedown. A little, you know, it's going to seem like a regular old flight video, but I'll like have a breakaway section where I try to give you guys some value. Because yeah, that alarm is ridiculous to try to fly to. I mean, seriously, if you start with your batteries at 4.2, the default being 4.1 is a little kind of silly, right? So I think you can go down to 3.8 or 3.0 or whatever it's set at as the bottom of the parameter is usually what I put mine on. And I also will, you can shut the alarm part off too. Make it vibrate your hands or do whatever. So yeah, I if you can't find it, let me know. But I'm sure, I know for a fact I did it on the Mustang and the Night Timber X. I think 5,000 was heavy enough. I can't imagine putting a 7,000 in there rolls. I'll show you. I think that's very heavy. But, you know, the 64mm F-16s are out of stock. They might be too, because there's a, I think they were in the sale. Lots of useful links in the description of all the videos I put out, whether it's a live stream or a regular video, guys. And use that. You know, it takes time to get those links built and put together. Those are affiliate links that earn commissions. That helps the channel. So when things like the Big 29 happens, or when I got to pay the website guy, or when I got to do this and that and this and that, it all adds up. Because I don't know anybody who takes having fun more seriously than I do. You guys want to see a 7,000 in it? Yeah, the alarm, can you imagine AirVexed if you're like trying to make a video and talk and fly this thing and talk about it, and you make one pass and there's the alarm going off already. It's very unnerving. Yeah. That bundle. I linked to the bundle in the descriptions as well, AirVexed. But yeah, the 5,000. It's heavy. You know, one thing I'm going to do next time I go out is increase my flap deflection and see about maybe a mix. What's up, Dad's RC Hangar? Let's see, I've got a scale around here too. So I'm gonna weigh a 7,000. Yeah, Rolls, I'll do that. Give me a second here. That's what I'm getting ready to do. I'm gonna put a 7,000 in it and see how ridiculous that is. Because I'm pretty sure it is ridiculous. And the magnets are so strong on that. Scale. $5,030C 6S pack. It's 1 pound 8 ounces. 1 pound 8.3 ounces. 7,000. It's 2 pounds. 0.8. So it's a half pound more. Nice, Keller. So this is dimensionally definitely bigger as well. This battery is beat up, dudes. I'm sorry about my 5000. I'm almost embarrassed. But that's because I do surface vehicles as well with them. Try to get you a good look at these. Yeah, it's a honking battery, the 7000s. I love them in my Warbirds and stuff, and actually my SU-30. I like them in there too. Oh, I hope it all goes well, Brenton. So if, by the way, you're never gonna, I hate to say never, but I really do not anticipate flying this thing on a 7000. It's, I mean, dimensionally very, very challenging to even consider it, I think. I mean, I think you'd really have to make some arrangements. You'd have to probably... I'm not even going to try to shoehorn that in there. I mean, it's a 1.2 meter wingspan. So despite its power, think about the airframe of it all. You know, we're flying 1.2 Warbirds with 3S and 4S batteries in it. This is a 7,000 2-pounder 6S battery. I think the 5,000 that they say is the best for performance is as big as I'd ever want to get in here. And just like the video I made, I really do prefer the 4000s the most. The 4000s, whether it's 4S or 6S, are my favorite. Keller, I've been thinking about you this whole time. You know, I wanted to tell you, but of course you can't. SEO, I'd be glad to look at it, but you'll have to put it up on YouTube and probably like at me or try to mention me in it somehow. Or send it to info@pilotryanmedia.com. Yeah, L Bear, I think it's... Listen, over the years, there's a lot of battery range specs that sometimes we never get close to the one side of the range. It's just too much or too little for what it is. Yeah, I don't know, Hubert. You might. I just flew what I had. Rolls. So the 30C was a ripper. And let's see, the other stuff I flew was also... So the 4000 6S battery that I flew in it, that you guys saw, was a 50C. And then the 4S battery that I flew in it was a 30C. And I was very surprised, actually, at the flight time on 4S, on the 4000. We just kept going. Like, Bobby and I both flew it. Bobby and I both took it off and landed on grass. And I cut some of that out at the end. Try to keep that video short. And it was kind of out of focus. So, I cut it. But, you know, the first flight's the whole flight, no cuts. And then in the second flight, I cut out some out of focus stuff. The video was getting long, too. Dennis, what is going on? Cool, guys. Yeah, 100C will be awesome. It can take it. This thing sounds amazing. It might even be the same motor that the Carbon ZT28 used. I'm not positive, but it almost sounded that way. Just mean. Eddie K, I'm not the guy. Any idea on prop RPM, Ryan, on either cell count? No. I have no idea. Roll 1650. Depending on your grass, it may be one of those things where if I was gonna fly off of grass all the time and it was kind of rough, I would take off with wheels in safe. Probably no flaps unless I put in a mix or something. And I would probably try to belly land it. So the cool thing about belly landing it is they've already made those preparations. So think about that. You've got the servos for the flaps and ailerons have these covers on them, so your servo arms aren't going to snag up. And what's cool too about the flaps is I still wouldn't want them down really steep if I was landing on grass, but if I had them just a little bit, I wouldn't be too worried about it. You can always dump them last minute too, but you've got a little belly here. I mean, just like I said in one of my outtakes, I don't know if it was in the video or not, but this thing looks kind of warbird with this belly, but then also at the same time, look at that belly. At the same time, looks Formula One. So you can see that little belly scoop. It's almost like Mustang-ish. And then dig the shape of this tail. If I can get it in the shot. I may not be able to. And that's why I put in those drop-in shots in the beginning of the video, because this son of a gun flies so fast. Look at the shape of that fuse. It's just neat. It does remind me a little bit of a Warbird Reno Racer kind of situation. Exactly, Ozzy. That's what I'm saying. If I were stuck on grass that wasn't perfect, I would take off on the wheels and probably have some packing tape, maybe on the belly or something, and belly land it. You've got a big plastic situation up here anyway, which is kind of nice. So if you had some tape from here, you know, back to where the exit air, you know, starts, I think you would be good to go. Mark Bell, what's going on? How are you? All you guys that are popping in that I don't see in the normal live streams or comment sections of the videos, I definitely invite you to do your thing on this channel. If you like RC like we do, this is the place to be. We get to play with so much of the new stuff that comes out, whether it's something we're working with companies on or we're just so fanatics ourselves that we make sure we get our hands on it. So subscribe, tap that notification bell, guys. If I haven't seen you before, thanks for coming by. We have a blast here. I've been doing a live stream every Saturday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time for more than 2 years in a row. Yeah, Jameson, I have a great time doing these videos, and I always think about what your guys' spin is going to be on it. You know, there's been a handful of timbers, there's some kind of repaints and things that happen. Still totally exciting. But you know, yes, we have a V900, but I think that one was I never got to fly one, but I think folks loved it so much. I'm so glad. It makes sense that there's a V1200 to me. And I'm very excited about things when they make sense, because I think you guys are even happier about that. Jeremy Sean. Jameson Clark. Yeah, I was responding to that comment. Been a while since I've been excited. Yeah, I agree. Jeremy Sean, you know how lighter planes feel a little too nimble? Is this one like that? No, this thing is, I mean, watch it come in on the landing. It's cruising. That indicates a sensible, sizable, considerable, substantial amount of weight and heft to the airframe, which when on step, like, makes it really solid and locked in. We thought it was super stable, super solid, slow and fast. Dad's RC hanger, I can see that. It's, if you've had your hands on the P39 Racer, like I have, and this one, if you want one that looks like a Warbird, definitely the P39 is going to win that one. But if you want one that's just like bad to the bone and completely made to do what it does, that one is it. Eric Quinn, what's happening? Yeah, Ozzy. I know, John. Can you think of an EDF jet that can catch it? Man, maybe the little F5, maybe the Mirage on a good day. That little F5 is a ripper. Small things. I mean, there can't be a lot of drag. Well, the V1200 is really virtually the same shape-wise, Hubert. So I think if you made preparations on that belly, it'd definitely be dialed in. Captain Mike Keller, guys, is like a resource on these V series of planes. You want to see a guy who's taken a V900 to the next level, I urge you to check out RC Captain Mike Keller, because he's just fun, and he's been like cranking it to 11. So now he's got a 12, which is cool. But I mean, he put landing gear. He's been hopping up the motors on the V900. The dude is hot rodded that thing. So, you know, that's fun to watch. And then I'm sure he's going to do the same thing on this V12. So start counting with me now, guys, how many V1200s Mike Keller ends up with before the year is over. Because I think you've had a handful of the V900s, am I right? He likes them that much, man. And he's pushing the envelope, so, you know, you're going to lose a few along the way, right, Mike? Hilarious. Good times. Good times. Let's see. Any dumb comments today? I'm sure there are. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. It pops okay. You know, for me, it's blue and white, so I think that's kind of helpful. I think that's kind of helpful. Fred Barron, what is going on, dude? What, if the Twin Otter has metal servos? I kind of doubt it does. I'm not sure it would need them, you know? They don't have parts for the 1.2 Corsair. I find that hard to believe. They still sell that plane. Mike Keller says, thing comes apart at 200 miles an hour. Don't ask him how he knows. I do not think the Twin Otter has metal servos. 370 question mark. Yeah, is that the battery bundle or not? Or is that just straight up? Now tell me. Bind and Fly 1.2. FMS Rafal. Yeah, I would expect to see that over here on the channel. Usually, guys, I'm telling you the latest and greatest, newest releases. I really do try to do most of them. There's some things I'll let you buy me, but most of the time, I think the things that a lot of us are into, don't let pass. And I mean, also, look, I love doing this, regardless of all the. I mean, I love flying before this YouTube thing started. You know what I mean? So, some way, shape, or form, I'm gonna do this thing. I love the innovation. I love the hobby. I like seeing where it's going. You know, some things I'll let go by me. You know what I mean? That's why I didn't do V900. That's why I don't do a lot of the little hand launcher things available to other places. I'm just not too worried about it. But yeah, I tell you what, some of these things that really appeal to me seem to appeal to so many of you as well. And so it really works out well. All right, Dad's RC Hangar. See you next time. Brian Brissett in the house. Yeah, Brian. Mike Keller puts made his V900 go really, really fast. It does look nice, Fred. I mean, I understand it's not for everybody. I do think it's got a wide envelope depending on what batteries you choose to use. I thought it still ripped on 4S. And that's why I made sure to put that in my video as well. Because I just want to really, hopefully, answer questions for the most amount of people. JCB, I'm not really sure about that. What is the lowest RX voltage needed for operation, 3S, 4S, etc.? Well, it should be the same. Right? Per cell. So I'm not the one to answer that, honestly. I wish I knew, but I don't want to say something wrong. And there's sags and spikes and all that kind of stuff. That's why I'm so all about and okay with, I'm very satisfied with the way these things come out of the box. But when a plane will take 6S and 4S, I will show you both. When a plane will take 3S and 4S, and I'm saying the manufacturer says so too, I will show you. Sometimes we'll push the limits on something, but always a disclaimer, like you're on your own. I just wish I knew the answers to all your questions sometimes, but I really do stick with the stock equipment for the most part. I'm very happy with it. Nate says he's for the price. Definitely getting this one. Can't beat it. Always wanted a good speedy plane for a long time now. You're going to love it. I can't wait to fly it some more. I think having a big, long runway would be a blast on this one. I love touch and goes and stuff. And this one's like a Warbird times 10, you know. But super gentle. I was blown away by the takeoffs on this thing. I mean, you could just be kind of putzing along and then give it some juice, and that son of a gun all of a sudden sounded like it wanted to eat your face off. But still, at the same time, took off like an elevator. Didn't get all torquey and crazy. Just nice. It is so cool. I don't know, All Motion. I didn't really fly the V900, but this thing with an aluminum spinner, I don't think it's gonna have any trouble unless you crash it. Do I still have my Freewing F4 8S? Man, I don't. I got rid of that one like pretty quick. That, or what I think I did was make it 6S, got rid of the 8S power system, and painted it. So I still have a Freewing F4, but it's got a 6S JP fan in it, and I actually did videos on it right here on the channel. If you check out the RC Jetworks playlist, you can see that jet working in the wintertime. But I've always thought that those Freewing F4s flew kind of heavy, and so I generally like to discuss the E-flite F4 at the same time. Way lighter on the wing loading and a lot more enjoyable for me to fly. It happens to be on sale for like a ridiculously generous price if you ask me. But Now, on grass, I think the Freewing one has wins on the ruggedness of the landing gear. But as far as flight experience, I would go E-flite F4 all day long. But if you're wanting to go 8S, I mean, go with the big one, I think. Yeah, Nate, it's funny. I did the FMS Nemesis, and I've done some of these other like racer airplanes before. And I got to tell you, no, you know, we never put anything in them stabilization wise, but the Warbird ones were always the squirreliest. So Strega, F2G, Critical Mass, always a handful. P39 even, you know, and it's a trike. On the other hand, though, having that kind of an opinion on these racers, these high power, kind of heavy, still smallish 1.1, 1.2 meter planes, you expect when you see something like a Nemesis from FMS or a V1200 that it's also going to be really ground loopy, really kind of a handful, you know, torque master. And I was pleasantly surprised with, I remember the Nemesis from FMS doing that work. And I was like, man, this thing is going to be wicked. And it was just so gentle. And this thing, because of my Nemesis experience, I kind of expected and hoped this too would be pretty well behaved, and it was. So, and I think it's even more locked in because it's heavy, guys. Look at the spec on the weight. Empty. It's real. It's a chunk. William Murgita in the house. What is up? That Nemesis is a nice plane, isn't it? Wasn't that a 4S bird, Jameson? I think it was. 6S is the new 4S, guys. Get with the program. Nate was rocking the voodoo, the voodoo that you done did on 5S. So yeah, needless to say, the Nemesis was not my Nemesis. It was very, very gentle. If your servo quit the bed on your Otter, I would just replace it. I would pay attention to the wires on it. So it's either going to be like an orange. That's a good example. It's either going to be. It's going to be me. Where's 200 driver? JT in the house. Anyway, I'm looking for a reverse one, but I'm not seeing it. Anyhow, so your servos are going to have either like a brown, orange, and like lighter orange wire, or one of them's going to be white. So white is usually the reverse servo. So if the one that you take out is oranges, then standard servo, not standard size servo, but you know, the whatever the gram is replacement. Like if it's a Twin Otter, I would look at the Twin Otter product page, and I would be trying to get like a standard or reverse to replace whatever came out. So if the servo that went bad has a white wire on it instead of all orange, it's probably a reverse operating servo. So that's what I would want to replace it with. Just to keep yourself from having to do any unnecessary modifications. And keep in mind also from one company to the next, like, so a Freewing reverse servo with white on it, one of the wires, signal wires white, may be standard operator for a different company. So stay within your brand so you know what you're getting. And if you're going to go outside of the brand, then I would probably get two servos. I'd get a reverse one equivalent and a standard equivalent. So at least you can, when you do spend the time, you can get it done. Reverse would have an R after the number. maybe, depending on where it's coming from. And again, like, put an FMS retract in a free wing plane and watch what happens. 2 are going to go down at the same time. 1 is going to go up. So there's no SKU number, add-on, prefix to an item number in between companies that's going to really let you know what it's doing. So, you know, try to, and again, with the servos too, like a reverse servo on a free wing might be a standard operating direction on something else. So, Michael Brill, you know what? I don't have it in the description, but if you just click on the bind and fly one, and that gets you to the website, and then just go like to the brands or E-flite, you can easily get to the plug and play version from there. But just take that link as the driver to the website would be fantastic. Hal Roofner in the house, what's going on? 200 driver, it's gonna be me, JT, up in here cooking dinner for the kiddos. 4S, yep, Jameson. Mitchell Farley, what's this? Hanger Rats in the house. White, black, gray, reverse, orange, red, brown, standard, just look. Yep. I think that's what I said, isn't it? Bart Hutchison, the ever-present question about servo reversing. It's not as simple as you would think it is. If you're willing to take servos apart, I'm not. It's something that people do, but I don't do it. I won't do it. It's just too easy to get what I need. And it's foam. I will change something before I will cut foam and flip it the other way, make other arrangements before I'll ever take a servo apart and play with the solder on it. But that's just me. But yes, to answer the question, you can. You absolutely can, and some people do it all the time. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, you have to reverse the pot. So it's not just as simple as it sounds like. And I'm going to kill that discussion right now, because I got nothing to offer on that. Get two. Get one to go both ways. Mike SSI is under the house. Well, you're under the house, so I suppose I can't throw you under the bus. You're already under the house. Yes, there is a plug and play version. Thanks, Brian Brissett. And Michael Brill, if you have any trouble sourcing that, hit me up at info@pilotryanmedia.com, man, and I will make sure I get you one. But it is easy to get to. I think I even I've got so many useful links in the description. And again, also, if you just go to pilotryanmedia.com, which is also in the description, you can click on the Horizon Hobby logo and then easily find it in the E-flite brand of aircraft. I hope people don't think they can get the 4S and 6S performance on the PNP with an old receiver. They need the smart Avion. Otherwise, whoa. Here we go. I lost it. Mr. Shady, that's true. I think it's another potential failure point. I never push servo reversers towards anyone. And I really also never really send folks to Hobby King. Eddie K, see you later. Thanks so much. See you guys on Saturday, some of you. All right, John Hill, beat it, man. See you in the next one. A lot of you guys, thanks for letting me have your time. You know, love talking about these new releases. I'm very grateful to get to do them, and I'm super grateful that you guys are into it as well. So not every plane is for everybody. It's okay. It's fine. I hope it never comes off I'm twisting people's arms. If you're interested, use the links, of course. But listen, don't buy stuff if you're not into it. It's totally okay. But if you're going to get it anyway, you know, it's nice to get compensated for the work you do. So that's how that's how it happens. So yeah. We'll see a lot of you guys Saturday night. I want to see you guys. I urge you, the best thing, if you're not going to click a thing, watch the videos, comment in them. We always see your comments. You're going to always get it. Unless you say something mean, you're going to always know that I've seen your comment, because they all get hearts. Unless somebody just says something negative, everybody gets a heart to their comment, which means that the owner of the content has seen your comment. And so sometimes there's something to say back, sometimes there's not. I just appreciate you for coming. I'll give you a thumbs up and a heart, but it really is great to feed the algorithmic robot of YouTube to come on board, comment on the regular old flight videos we do. It's great to have you participate in the chats, but as soon as they're over, I unlist them. So I really need you to thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, share out the regular videos. It's super helpful. Mr. Shady, Rare Bear with retracts would be sick. The Rare Bear, man, thank you, Mr. DeMont Ofer. Thank you so much for coming by. All you guys remember, subscribe and tap that bell as well. That way you can comment when new videos come up. I really appreciate that. So the Rare Bear had a beautiful purple fleck paint. Che will talk later, because I'll be glad to let you know. No landing gear. I remember flying that thing so fast that I skipped off the ground one time, and the thing was going so fast, the whole motor and spinner spun out of the mount, was hanging kind of behind the plane. The thing was going so fast, even though it lost its motor, I still had enough momentum to make it the rest of that leg, base leg, turn back around and land Airshow Center. It was hilarious. That video might still be up at Motion. I'm not sure of the incident, but the repair. So I did that foam tack, I think, made it, foam finish compound. I did a video on how to use it, sand it down, all this kind of stuff. And the Rare Bear was the plane I was using to demonstrate this foam finish compound. Well, that's the Rare Bear that I skipped off the grass, ripped the motor out its face, cut up the side of the plane, and ended up having a sweet belly landing with the motor hanging off the side. But yeah, Che, hit me up, man. Hit me up. Right now it's hard to get me on DMs and Messenger, so info@pilotryanmedia.com is the way to go, because I think we need to get together on one of these videos somehow or another. Nothing more this week that I know of. B squared, Brissett, Dennis Matovich. Do you think the HRB 3300 6S batteries would CG fine? I do. Now, 4-minute recommended flight time. I would also say that's predicated upon the use of probably like a 5,000, somewhere between a 4 and a 5,000. So if you're gonna fly on the smaller packs, it's easier on the airframe, so in a way it extends your time, but you do still have a smaller fuel tank. So I would be mindful of the time, but you'll CG fine. To answer your question, you'll be fine. Let's see. Sorry, Mergita. We'll catch you on the flip, dude. You're having bad internet. Too bad. Jackson RC, what's going on? I already had too many belly landers when it came out, but a larger one would have been sweet. Talking about the Rare Bear. Nice, Che. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. Do you fly at Eli Field? Is that what somebody told me? Or close? Did anyone else have big time issues hand launching the V900 version? Good grief. I never knew what that thing was gonna do. I think you're not the only one, Michael, but I'm not sure. Now that you have time on the plane, would you fly it on 4S other than for demonstration purposes? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's still fast. It's still fun, and me being the landing guy that I am, if I can choose, I mean, I love the 6S for the speed, but 4S felt more familiar as far as wing loading goes. So I think it's a little easier on the ground as far as landings go. Takeoffs are no problem anyway. I mean, it's just like blap and you're off. You heard it take off. I on purpose had Bobby come in slow too, and then give it the goose too. You know what? I've looked at so much V1200 video. I can't hardly remember everything I put out. It's only the one video today, but I had so much crammed into it. I can't remember if you guys saw Bobby on 6S or not. Okay, check. Thank you, Daniel Swiss. I'm glad you like it. We work really hard. You know, we really take having fun very seriously around here. We have a great live stream Saturday night, done 2 years in a row, Saturdays at 9 o'clock Eastern time, but the videos, the flight videos are where it's at. So I appreciate seeing you guys popping up in my comment sections of the regular videos, guys. And make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell, because legit, we're putting out 2 or 3 videos a week, not to mention the live stream. We treat this like a full-time. It is a full-time passion. For sure. Thank you for coming by. So many new names when I do this thing on Thursday. I don't normally do a live stream Thursday, but it is a special edition thing that I have done in the past. Usually always coincides with a new release from Horizon that I've been fortunate enough to get to play with ahead of the announcement. So thanks for coming by here. Having a blast. Mr. Shady, I have not had trouble with that. And of course, I'm low time on it. You know what I mean? Like 4 or 5 flights, but we didn't have any trouble. You know, anything you crunch in, you cannot be surprised you had trouble on it. And honestly, you would rather the gear bend than it rip up your wings or, you know what I mean, break something else. I'd rather bend a strut than rip up my wings or punch it through. It looks too tall to you, huh? I don't think so. I think it sets really... Let me get it on its wheels. Oh, thanks, David Snyder. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. This is going to sound like whining, but it's not. But we always have planes to film. Even if it's taking old ones back out. I just love doing what I do. If I didn't have new projects, I'd be bringing old ones out. I've been bringing old ones out. Making excuses to bring the old ones out. Like the BAE Hawk, I put the new, 2100 kV in it. But since it is new ones, they trump and take priority over any of the other stuff I want to do. And we make sure we get it done around real jobs and everything else. And then no matter how early I get my original video capture done on these new projects, it's always a long night on Wednesday. Getting them really ready to go, finalized, dressed up, all that business of YouTube, and then making those links. You know, I've got new apps where I can make these links nice and short so they don't take up 4 lines of code and look all sketchy to click on. So there's a lot that goes into this, guys. I like the special editions too. And it makes a lot of sense that if I'm going to put this much effort into videos on announcement days, that I follow it up with the discussion if you guys want to hear it. So let me move some of these packs and try to make it where we can have a good look at these landing gear. The whole stance of this thing on the ground. I thought it set really nice, and like I was saying earlier, I think the stance is really nice. It's wide. It's like a 5650 800 kV if I remember right, Kyle. Or see, I'd appreciate that. Let me double check on the motor kV for my man here. Let's see. So this is the size. It's a 5065 800 kV. Now, I don't think the legs are too long. I love the tail wheel. I love the way they did that. Check that out. Is that not the coolest? Just built into the rudder like that. And see the knockouts on the vertical and the rudder itself? There's reinforcement all up in this to keep it rigid at these intense speeds it's going through. Exit air all over the place. You got the 3 holes there. And then up here you have on either side as well. You've got air coming in. This thing just sounds so mean. You got air coming in right there on the left and right of the spinner. And underneath a big NACA duct feeding right there as well. Plenty of cooling on this one. It's awesome. And then ball links all around. And the stance for me, I thought it was fine. I just want to make sure I got my tail wheel on the table so you get an honest look at this stance. But like I was talking about before, when I have flown like racer airplanes, specifically warbirds that were made to be like Reno racing style, they were always extremely squirrely on the ground, where I feel like this is very gentle on the ground. So I think I liked it. I liked it. And it looks like, if you think about some warbirds like 109s and things like that, it looks like it could almost be a real handful. But the super wide landing gear and where they're at, it was extremely gentle. Extremely gentle. Michael Brill, yeah, that's tough. But they go so fast. The thing is, I don't think they're ever really far away. Once we release them, I think they're like a month away or whatever like that. So I mean, honestly, I just have no complaints the way that this works, Brill. But honestly, it'd be better for me too if they were on the shelf when I release videos. They're not. So we do the work and then maybe don't necessarily get to slam it like maybe you could if they were actually available. Mr. Shady, don't know. I have no idea. I really don't pay much attention, honestly, to what goes on over there. I did my time over there already. I love new releases. I love big free wing and flight line planes, so I'll always be into that. But yeah, I don't follow. I don't follow. Mike SSI, rolling loops. Is that silver or aluminum color on the wing? It's like gray. Gray. Kind of silver, I suppose. There's both. So that silver right there. And this is gray. And then the spinner is aluminum. It's super nice. Yeah, tail wheel and the rudder looks totally cool. Yeah, it's nice to see it's not such a booger on the ground. You know, it's could be intimidating. BD Tennessee, it's really good. It's really good. They're a mom and pop. They're great folks. If you ever have any kind of trouble, it's feel free to reach out to me if you need me to go to bat for you. But yeah, mom and pop. You know what I mean. Sometimes it takes time for them to get things done. But I really I've not heard anybody have trouble with them. All right, Hal Roofner. Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, Michael, you never know. For skis, huh? I tell you what, we fly all year. Thanks, Che. Yes, it does have its own fan on the ESC. 30 pieces of carbon in it. Yeah, and you know what? We don't get to pick how or when we do things. And what you're never gonna say, if you're me, you're not gonna say no. When look at, I mean, here we got this 100+ mile an hour thing. We did a Blue Angel. We, you know, big 29, and then I've got the mini Aero Scout up here, and like micros. We're flying whatever we can get our hands on, you know? Just having a blast. So I don't want to keep you guys too long. There's other shows later tonight. I think stickers are easier than a bunch of stencils, probably, Mr. Shady. I'm not really sure. I don't think it's for stiffness to the foam. They built that in. It's dense and it's reinforced. Dennis wants to put FPV on it and chase jets. They're gonna be chasing you, man. I think you'll keep up with them all, even on 4S. Yeah. Fly everything, man. I'm saying, when I first fell in love with this hobby, that was kind of the goal, and it was like a pipe dream. Like, Dad, man, I am really hitting my stride on this stuff. I'm feeling like I really I could almost get emotional, to be honest with you, thinking back to those days fixing. We did a lot of fixing back then, fixing and learning and building stuff from scratch with my dad. I was like, man, I want to fly everything. I'm starting to really understand the language of these things and what they need to work. And I grew up in an aviation family. My grandpa was just ace of the base. Flew warbirds, you know, in air shows, and then flew for a living some stuff that was first off the line. Twin engine, turboprop, first civilian, you know, Cheyenne 4, you know, things like this. And I just felt like I was getting a good grip on these things, and I wanted to fly them all. And I didn't, at that time, have any idea that I would actually kind of get to. But I just... got to work, you know? Got to work. Maybe had a bit of a gift. Gab, mostly. Gift of gab, mostly. But just really found something to occupy my time in a good way, and good stuff. Good stuff. that's the thing. You know, you have to be willing to be led. You don't always have to know where you're going. And I think if you work hard, this, you know, this is the on the side, guys. I work hard on my real life and take care of business. You know, I take care of my family. And when you work hard, you get to play hard, and I just absolutely love it. It's like survivor guilt. You ever heard of survivor guilt? Like really kind of being clueless, but just I go hard and end up on my feet. At the end of the day, just blessed beyond comprehension, and definitely beyond my own doing. There's nothing I contribute other than just going hard. The rest of it is what it is. Oh, sorry about that, Michael Sherman. Glad to have you here. You can always check out the replay, and you're going to have to find it on the podcast and live streams playlist because, as you know, Michael Sherman, longtime supporter, glad to see you. I will unlist these things usually right away. So, Julian Klakow in the house. Man, super wholesome, dude. And it's cool, and it's macho, and it's also very frail. You know, I'm doing these basher trucks and stuff that you just kill them. Yeah, send them to the moon, flip them around, beat them up, land upside down, land on the front, the back, whatever. So tough. And then these planes, you mess them up just packing them in the car if you're in a hurry, you know. Eric Hiles. You know, I'm not sure if there is or not, but I tell you what, if I was wanting to find out if there was a difference between the new Big Rock and the old Big Rock, I would be checking out my buddy Tony at CCXRC and some of my other Surface guys to see what they say about it, because those guys that I follow on the Surface side are just as into it as we are here with planes. So I never had the first Big Rock, so I wouldn't know what is different, but on looks alone, I definitely like the looks of the tires, the flat black body shell, and I do know, not exactly how, but that they have beefed up the chassis to a degree. So I don't really know. I like the Big Rock, but I would work one if I had one. I've so many big spins lately that I'm just gonna chill. And I have so much. I do have so many bashers that I need to get in front of a camera still that I'm just gonna chill. My go-to basher at the moment, I love the Creighton 6S platform, whether it's the EXB or the original, kind of so to say, version 4. If I could only pick one, the Creighton 6S series, like I say, EXB roller or regular, is must always have, right? The big Outcast, I put the bigger pinion on. I still need to get that out in front of the camera. I do have an RC Trucks playlist for those of you who want to check that out. My X-Max, it's a special truck. There's nothing like it. It's really its own kind of thing. It's fantastic. I love my little truggies too, like the, what are they called? The Typhons. I got the 3S and the 4S Typhon. The Outcast is sick. I got the 8S one and the 6S one. I actually like the 8S one better than the 6S one. The 6S one is like really, really stunty. I've got mine all M2 seat. I've got a lot of, and when it gets colder, you see more of that kind of video from me. I have so much stuff in the queue, honestly, though, that I need to get edited through. I really want to. I need to hire somebody sometime, but the thing about hiring somebody is you got to be able to pay them. So it's all me for now. Me and Bobby K. He doesn't do very much behind the scenes. Actually, over the last couple of weeks, while I've not had my normal YouTube access on my cell phone, I've had him tending to the comments until I can get home and get to them. Bart Knuckles, what is a good first-time surface vehicle? It's funny you should ask. I did the brushed version of the new Granite not that long ago, right here on the channel. Check out the RC Trucks playlist, and you can watch that video. I think if you're gonna get into it though, go for brushless right away. Unless you're just really counting your pennies, there's a brushless Granite. It's gonna cost a little bit more than the brushed version, and you're gonna have to get your own, battery to run it on, but it's worth it. When I drove the brushed Granite, it comes with the nickel metal pack. So it truly is ready to run. You pull one little pin on the ESC and you can run it on 2S LiPo. Not everybody has 2S LiPos. So if you already have 3S LiPos, I would go for the brushless Granite. I think it's a great entry-level truck. I really do. If you just kind of already know you really, really like surface, then you could be looking at some of the other more expensive stuff too. But best value for what you get, size and power, look at the Arma line. Seriously. And it's available, obviously, at Horizon Hobby. Boozer's in the house. What's up, man? You missed my... I made comments on your live stream the other day that they were offers that I now rescind because of you ignored him. You ignored it. 2 or 3 times I made the comment. You ignored it. So, I'm out. You ever watch Shark Tank? I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I was in, but now I'm out. Love it. Love it. I ought to stay live till Kenny goes on. Flying time on a 5000, the book said 4 minutes. So, I mean, these things are made to rip their face off. The beauty of if you fly the smart batteries in the smart plane is that you don't have to mess and fiddle with your battery checker. You just roll your knob on the radio all the way to the right and back one, and there's your voltage. It's so cool. Too late, Boozer. The one thing, what's the question about the bashers? Is it Kenneth who's asking about bashers? Yeah, the one thing about trucks that you don't realize if you haven't paid attention to them at all is that they fly too. And it's really, really fun. I've built some launch ramps and I'm sending... Dude, don't think for a minute that I'm getting a truck just to except for the Felony, which is just made to burn out and drift. I've got videos on it, check them out. You better believe I'm going to launch these things. I want to fly them. I mean, it's the coolest thing. I mean, the RCs I got when I was a little kid sucked. Now you got RCs that are so tough, you can send them to the moon and even land wrong and still drive away half the time. I mean, what? It's like, I can't even believe it's possible. The abuse that these trucks take. Some people, you watch their videos, they really baby them. But these things take a tremendous amount of abuse. And what's amazing is that you can fix them. Unlike toy grade stuff, you can buy parts. I'm looking at a pegboard full of parts for my Armas. And I've gotten actually decent at driving them, so I haven't been burning through the parts. But it's really a ton of fun. Longest jump competition this weekend, says General Hobbies. Yeah, they fly. BD Tennessee, you know what's cool too about the Armas and even the Traxxas stuff is if you're gonna be a guy who actually demands something from his rigs, then you can buy the RPM equivalent. And hard to believe. You have to sometimes search it by part number, but a lot of the RPM replacements for like Arma trucks, even my Traxxas X-Max, I got my RPM A-arms from Horizon. So I can get RPM A-arms for my Creighton 6S. What's cool about having some of these trucks is that they share parts. So my Creighton 6S, Outcast 6S share the same A-arms as each other. And then what's cool about the Traxxas RPM arms is that it's not specific left or right, front or back, unlike the stock Traxxas arms are. So if you want backup arms for your Traxxas, but you want to stay stock, you need left and rights and front and backs, I think. With the RPM arms, you just need, it's one item number, you know what I mean, to get it done. Pretty cool. Yeah, I almost got an infraction like last night. They're back in stock. Yeah, hitting the jump, learning how to line it up is what's up. Yeah, hot racing. I think I have some hot racing stuff. They do like aluminum hop-ups and things. I almost got the hot racing like C-hubs or steering blocks, I think it is, for the X-Max, but they're like 70 bucks a whack. I was like, yeah, you know what? I got enough plastic ones. I'll just let it go for now. If you want to see a Corsair blow something up, I blew up a Corsair. If you look at my first, if you haven't seen these videos, you really should. It's almost like a series. If you look back a while on my channel, the Flightline 1600 millimeter Corsair video, I completely wrecked it on the Maiden. And talk about making lemonade out of lemons. I made 3 or 4 videos on that crash. How to fix it, had some fun with it. I really urge you guys to check out those videos, because one of those videos, 2 of them are definitely very labor intensive. One is a tremendous amount of value, editing, and work to show you how I fixed it afterwards. And then another one is a whole lot of editing and cutting to make an entertainment video, an entertaining video on how I assessed that damage. Check it out. That would be cool, Kenneth. BD Tennessee just got the Big Rock V3. Already got some cool mods. That's awesome. So that thing probably has the long chassis on it, like the 4S Creighton and Senton and Typhon, doesn't it? Yeah, the trick on ramps is to find either a crack, a shadow, some kind of way to, well, I didn't mean to blow up the F4, you know, but that's what I'm saying. I didn't really blow it up, no fire, but wow. You've never broken an X-Max A-arm in the 4 years of having it. Have you been sending it? All right, Shay, see you later, dude. Ah, Pontiac, that's a good one. Yep, same chassis. Yeah, I thought so. Wide, too. It is wide. It looks like it's got some very wide arms on it. The tires look awesome. I love flat black. You know, I went for the flat black Felony. I mean, I almost wish I did the orange one now. But, man, that flat black is just so sick. Very cool. I am going to try to wrap it up in maybe 10, 15 minutes max. Wow. Nice, BD. Huh. Proof on the channel? Nah, man. I'll do more surface stuff in the winter. I have a ton of it I need to edit up for you, but those are big edits. So with the airplanes you guys want to see, and that's how I want to give it to you too, is beginning of the flight to the end of the flight. But on the truck videos, the runs are so long. I mean, the amount of time we get on a truck versus an airplane is so tremendous that if you don't cut it, it's going to be just a bore to watch the video. Guys, man, check out my RC truck playlist, guys, if you're into it at all. I actually filmed Air Marshals. I had Air Marshal. I kind of commissioned a project, collabed on a project with RC Air Marshal to build me what was supposed to be a drift car, even though I knew nothing about it, out of a Tamiya Karmann Ghia. Well, it looks awesome. We did our best. We upgraded it. We went full smart bearings, locked the diff. We got oil-filled, shocks. The whole works. Really went to town on this Tamiya. Dave did a beautiful paint job. And it's rear-wheel drive. It's real heavy in the back, and it doesn't drift worth a darn. So I'm gonna end up with a drift car of some type, somehow, some way, shape, or form. I think that Kyosho Mercedes looks awesome. There's a guy called 1/10 Scale Garage who does I really like what he's doing on his channel. And they did some drifting videos, how to drift, how to make a drift car out of like a street rod kind of deal. Look, it's pretty cool. And I mean, I got the Felony to do that drifting, but that thing is just a grunt. It's huge, it's big, and if I'm trying to do it inside, I would be a little bit better off with a smaller one. Yeah, WD-40 is awesome for A-arms and stuff. Yep, Brian, that's a good trick. It is. So what I was getting at is we put drift tires on the Tamiya. It's just, I think it almost needs some weight in the front. But that thing is such a shelf queen. I'm just going to get, like, me and Bobby some drift cars. We got somewhere to play with it. You guys will see soon. But I filmed that Karmann Ghia and the Felony inside the other day. So I got so much to get through, guys. It's no fun because I don't have my Instagram right now, or I'm just bummed on the other stuff. I really let YouTube be kind of my official videos. I'm thinking about doing a B channel just for kind of outtakes. Not trucks or planes, but just like more Pilot Ryan, because these new releases, these videos are clicking, performing well. I hate to stifle that with something a dud in the way of performance. I mean, if you got a new video like this thing rocking, it doesn't make sense for me to put out something that's 3 years old right now until it starts to subside a little bit. Just how it goes. It's cool, Air Marshal. The video will be nice. We got some good footage of it inside. WD-40 totally works, Eric. It really does. Especially if you're going to be driving them in the cold, I would say do everything you can to make your A-arms flexible. Guys like Kevin Talbot and Tony at CCXRC, I think both WD-40 up their plastic bits. I think a lot of car guys probably do. They just don't talk about it. The Red Cat drift cars do look sweet. The coolest Red Cat drift car I saw was on Instagram, and it was just a user took the Red Cat drift platform and put like a resto mod kind of old school truck body on it, and it was all weathered up. Looked so cool because the Instagram post was it like drifting around a corner and just like killing it. You cratered channel doing that same thing. You say, GB, yeah, man, I mean, if you've got momentum, you kind of need to let it roll, don't you? You know what? I don't know the size of the prop on the plane without looking up the specs. Any thoughts on the Arma Big Rock, says Mr. Shady. I think it's a killer truck. I don't have one, but I've driven so many of the Armas at this point that you can't really go wrong with them. I will say this, from what I have learned lately, and since I started doing surface, and like everything I begin, I usually go really hard. I really prefer the kind of 6S platforms, honestly, because I like the handling. I like the way the diffs work. I like repairing them better than repairing the... If I break, I can go really hard on 6S Armas, and because of the metal chassis and shock towers and stuff, I will bend things rather than break them, and I kind of like that. I kind of, knowing what I know now, though, so I bought, for instance, this is a good example. I wasn't sure what I was going to think about the Typhon, so I got the 3S Typhon first. Loved it. Loved it so much right away that I was like, I should have just got the 6S one. Right? So I have them both at the moment, but the 6S one, you get better shocks. They're just beefier. They're still kick butt on 4S, you know. The 3S Typhon, I ended up upgrading the tires and put like legit better shocks on it, and it's pretty awesome. But it's still a plastic chassis, so if you're not careful, you can break it. I mean, listen, I'm really sending my trucks, though. If you're not going to send them, then you don't have to worry about that stuff too much. Earl, what is going on, man? Good to see you. We actually been talking about surface for a little while, Earl. And any of you who are in the room right now that are interested in the surface conversation, I definitely would refer you to checking out Earl Moorhead's channel on YouTube, because the dude is a complete resource for that facet of RC. If you're into surface, you're going to get some value out of watching Earl's channel. Even if you never see him run them, just like even just off the bench and mods and cool stuff. The dude knows the game, and it's fun. It's cool. Yeah, man, talking about ground vehicles, we got some guys asking about the new Big Rock. There's a lot of new Armas out that are finally available to be purchased now that just came back in stock. Same with some Losies. Ryan, I got the transmitter which came out of the Ready to Fly Aero Scout. I'm going to need a new transmitter for flaps. I have no plans on ever dropping anything or the hardcore stuff. Would a DX6 G3 be fine? So a DX6, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, right? The DX6 is going to be fine for full house airplanes, right? So, of course, aileron, elevator, rudder, the power, right, the motor, flaps, and retracts. Now, if you want to be able to like assign switches to do other things that maybe not necessarily like a drop, but like a bomb drop or something like that, but if you want to be able to assign, I think, safe to switches or some things like that, you might want to have an 8-channel. I'm not quite sure, but a 6 will do you loads of good. You will be able to take care of most, full house aircraft. I don't even know. Does the DX6 have 3-position switches on it? Because it is kind of nice to be able to take full advantage of progressive modes on airplanes if you ever get one that has beginner, intermediate, and expert. Oh, Oscar, what CG am I using on the F-22? Man, that plane is so easy. I don't even know. I'm probably close to stock CG, maybe a little bit forward. I feel like I put my 5000s. I'm flying with the smart packs. The back of my 5000s, a lot of time, no matter what battery I'm flying, usually, whether it's a 4000, 5000, or a heavier pack 6S, usually the back of my battery is lined up with what I call the Charlie Browns on the fuselage, which are those zigzag panel lines right underneath those silver patches. Sorry, I can't be more helpful on that one. It's been so long since I set that up that I... Honestly, too, it's kind of not that often I get to fly that one, so I just kind of put it wherever. It's just too easy, that plane. That plane is easy. In location envy. What do you mean, Keller? What, the V12? Yeah, a lot of new faces in here, guys. Thanks for coming over. This is cool. We do this on Saturday night, 9 o'clock. I've done over 2 years in a row. But the biggest part about this channel is the regular old videos. These live streams are great, but I shut them down unlisted when they're over because it's really about being here. I know a lot of guys listen to them after the fact, and they've got more time than I do. But you're missing out if you don't check out the rest of the channel, especially if you're into the hobby, whether it's surface or air like the rest of us, because we really do manage to get our hands on so much of it. Let's see, like I said, let's go 5 minutes and be done. All right, guys, we got 51 in here. Give it a like, all that good stuff. Check out the video from today. Guys, watch the whole thing. You know, there's always good tidbits at the end. I'm going to start putting more of those good tidbits at the end because it's all about watch time. So we landed this thing, took it off and landed it in grass at the end of the video, flew it on 4S at the end of the video, and about the middle of the video, made a big announcement, kind of little pseudo commercial on the E-flite 9.5 industry leading simulator that will be available in October. So what's going on with the chat, y'all? You got a few minutes, guys. And I'm into it, Eric. I mean, if I don't get it, I buy it. I'm going to make sure I get it. Let's see. You have a 4000? You know, yeah, I would go kind of forward on it. Is it going to help you, if Oscar, if I show you where I'd put a 4000? Because I'll do it if it'll help you. Are you still here, Oscar? So I'm going to go to... Yeah, that's not it. I have not seen the chat move, guys, since the last thing I saw was from Eric Hiles. He's like you, gets all of them. So is there anything new after that I'm missing? Certainly there is, right? Hello. Helly. Hello. Because if Oscar's still here, I'll show you where I put a 4000, if that'll help you. Bobby and I flew a formation flight on F-22s the other day, and I don't remember if we talked about what batteries we were using or not. Is this even going still, guys? Seriously. Somebody comment Well, I'm not seeing anything. These guys give me a hard time because I don't like the safe in the pattern. I like it for takeoffs and landings if I'm going to play with it, because I don't like the feel of giving it all the stick and rudder the plane has to make a turn. I don't want to fly like that, because I've been flying planes that don't take full stick to come around for my entire time. I think this thing must be over, you guys. I don't see your comments. Let me try one thing here. Okay, cool. Yeah, Earl. Man, I'm missing all these comments. That makes me so mad. Let me see if I can go, if it's back now. Son of a gun. Okay, so I need to go to YouTube and watch it. Well, I'm in Streamlabs OBS, so let me see. It's totally weird what I see right now, but that's okay. I'm way past 5 minutes at this point. Let's see. Holy smokes. I missed a bunch. Chat is still going. Thanks, Dave. DX6 doesn't have diversity antenna or voice alert. So yeah, our guy on the radio, if you love the hobby and you're going to stick with it, I think you got to at least be looking at an 8. You'll be sorry you didn't. And consider clicking through pilotryanmedia.com to Horizon Hobby if you go shopping. Thank you for that, BD Tennessee. Michael Sherman, that's kind of what I'm saying. Don't go with less than 8. I like that. Mr. Shady, I don't know the answer to that one. If I did, I suppose I couldn't say. Haha. Any news on Horizon Warbirds? You would certainly think there'd be some in the pipe, wouldn't you? $9.5, yeah, man. If you have 9 already, the upgrade will be a download for no charge if you have 9 already, which is cool. Kenneth Booth about a flight sim for Macs. I don't know. You might have to run Boot Camp or some weird little app to make your Mac think it's Windows to be able to take advantage of it. Boy, it went fast. Keep trying to catch up. Yep, new stuff in stock. Andrew Williams in here. Good to see you, Fly Guy. Steve Gilroy in the house. Lots of new faces want to do the early Thursdays, guys. Totally cool. Totally cool. Just wondering. Yeah, if anybody has reached out to me on Messenger or DMs on Instagram, I am not ignoring you. I just do not see them. If you need me for a specific question, info@pilotryanmedia.com is a good way to get me, kind of like privately. If it's a question that you think the answer potentially could benefit the community, then I urge you to come by Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. You can also submit that question to me via the info@pilotryanmedia.com email and address it as such, like, hey, here's one for the community or something like that, and I will still answer it on the show. Even if you can't be there, know that you can always see it later, because if you go to the home page of the YouTube channel, the podcast and live stream playlist is where all these live streams go to live once they're done. They're unlisted. That's the only way you're going to find them. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. I got a new iPhone 11 and it's 2 weeks that I can't access my apps. And it's another 2 weeks. I was so mad today. I don't even want to start. I mean, I'm very polite with the people on the phone, but I was like really frustrated. And I was like, seriously, I want to talk to, I'm already talking to one level up from regular, like tech support, customer service. But I was like, I really need someone above you to chew their tail, because this is unacceptable. And look how much time you're wasting. Your hands are tied. You can't help me. I've been on the phone with 3 of you folks getting nowhere. Like, this is awful. There's a million ways for me to verify who I am, and you guys can't work it out. It's just sick. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, so mad. And I'm still keeping up with comments on YouTube. But I have to do it when I get home. And Bobby's been helping. So, yeah, so El Bear says something here. Oh yeah, I figured out why I didn't have elevator authority on that A10 Maiden. I had selected the fixed gains on safe. Should have had it on adjust. So I only know safe as far as the way it comes out of the box. So I have not done any of it on my own as in the way of programming. Yeah, I mean, Earl, this is my other job. They're really, I was like, I'm not like it's about making money, but it's like I can, if I can access my stuff. It is ridiculous. Yeah, man, but I'm on the go. When I'm sitting on my computer, I'm not doing Instagram, which you can't post on the computer really. I'm doing YouTube. So it's so weird trying to like ignore me talking seconds ago or whatever I'm looking at here. Thomas Milano in the house. What is up? Air Marshal, I have so many accounts too. It's just not even funny, right? It's just it's a nightmare. Facebook is a nightmare. The login situation is a nightmare. That's why I just want what I have. Well, it's too late now, Keller. That's what happens. If you can only try so many times. And that's what it should tell you. If you try more than 5 times, you're going to get completely screwed for at least 2 weeks on your stuff. Just because I'm online doesn't mean like I'm a IT guy. You know what I mean? I'm not an IT guy. Because I do social media or video doesn't mean I'm an IT guy. It doesn't mean I want to log into 4 different accounts to figure out which one is going to hit me up for Facebook. Because I don't post on my personal accounts. All right, Captain Mike Keller. I know he was pumped this morning. My kids are home. I'm going to go do family. Hey! Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Hey, Daddy's going to get done with this, and then I'm going to come up and see you guys. You want to stay right there a second? Hey, I got to... I'm live.
Have you been out lately?
No, not since I got home.
Okay.
I'll be right up.
Okay, come on, Mira.
I did not know you are getting all my flights.
Hey, hold on a minute. I'll see you in just a second. I missed you. I can't wait to see you. Hey, be careful. Hey, guys, listen. Everybody's home. I will see you guys Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. My kids are home. That's my little one. She's going to be 4 about Christmas time. I love them. So I don't know how I work this out. I guess it's the wee hours of the morning. Guys, thanks for coming by. If you're new, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, watch the videos. That's what's up with the channel. We get it done. Follow us over here at pilotryanmedia.com. I want you to follow my buddy, Bobby K. He's my cameraman. He's my buddy. He flies this stuff too. We get to share this whole passion of the hobby together and then share it with you guys. Bobby K is into the hobby hardcore too. And he's getting it done for BitGo Hobby. That's his new job. So congratulations to him. I want you to support him and check out the BitGo Hobby YouTube channel as well, because sometimes I'm filming for Bobby on that channel. Sometimes it's Gabby. So you're going to see a lot more coming out of that side of that, you know, the BitGo Hobby business on social and, of course, the website, trying to dress it up. I'm kind of advising a little bit to flesh that out and make it just easier to deal with and all that kind of stuff. So, with that being said, I'm going to go squeeze on my kids and all. And we'll see you guys in Kenny's chat. Thanks for coming by on the special edition Thursday. Thank you, Horizon Hobby, and all the companies that work with us over here at Pilot Ryan Media for believing in us and trusting that we're going to have fun with these toys and show them to you guys and answer questions for you. I mean, you would it's almost worth paying for, isn't it? So, guys, check out your buddy's channels. Parent Ryan Media. Earl, thanks for coming by, man. Good to see you. Hey, if you got connections, tell them to keep on with me. You know what I mean? I've gotten one review project from Surface. The rest of them I've had to get, but I'd like to keep that going. Anyways, you guys know what to do. Links are always in the descriptions to the video. Thanks for that. We make it easy for you by using pilotryanmedia.com too, if you don't want to chase it down via a description of a YouTube video. But all you guys who are new, I really do invite you to tap that bell, subscribe, stick around, because we enjoy having you here and we have a blast with this stuff. So you've come to the right place. There's so many great channels out here doing it too. So we'll see you guys in the streams. We're gonna roll. I was gonna let her stick around and watch me sign off, but she split. So we're out of here in 5. Hanger rats forever. 3 you later. You're too good to be forgotten. Stick 'em, monkey pants. See you next time. Comment on the V1200. Check out the BAE Hawk, the Big 29. We've been putting out videos so much. Check them out. See you in the comment sections, guys. I really appreciate that. Let's see. I got to back out to this one to end it.